Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lucore Automotive. Today we're going to be doing more stuff with the 2003 Pontiac Vibe GT. In the most recent video, you saw the fact that I got the VVTi working. Go me. Ended up having a filter that was insanely clogged. $250,000 car. That filter had probably never been out. So, you know, quick little in, get a little cleaning done, quick little out. Bing, bang, boom. Bob's your uncle. We're back in business. Now, time to move on to the next thing that can be fixed reasonably easily and for not a whole lot of work and or money. These wheels that are on this car are disgusting. Like, disgusting. They are aluminum wheels that are painted, and the paint flakes off something horrible. They're also really scuzzy because I just got done driving a couple of 100 miles for a bunch of other stuff, but you can see they are gross. So option one would be pull those wheels and tires, blast them in the media blaster, and then repaint them, refinish them. But that's a lot of time, a lot of energy, and I don't really want to. And those wheels are not all that attractive to begin with. But I have a better option. We already own them. So I only have to go anywhere to go pick these things up. Stay tuned. Give me a minute. I gotta go to the back of the shop. Back here in the field of bad decisions, we actually happen to have something that shares exactly the same bolt pattern, exactly the same offset as that Pontiac Vibe GT does. And, as I said, we already own this. This is another project of ours that's been sitting kind of in limbo. We ended up having a motor and trans for it, and then ended up using the motor on something else. And then that guy decided to blow that car up because he did exactly what I told him not to do. But anyway, we're down a motor, so this car's basically just been kind of sitting and languishing back here in the field. And got some LucoreRacing excellent looking gold wheels on it. And as I said, they're exactly the same bolt pattern and offset as what I need for my Pontiac Vibe GT. Now, unfortunately, it's sitting just off the section of pavement back here where we didn't pave. So it's sitting in gravel and sinking. So I'm going to use some questionable skills, and I'm going to jack this thing up. I'm going to put a board underneath my jack stand, put a jack stand under it, pull this wheel off, start taking these wheels and tires apart one by one, and then, yeah, I've got a brand new set of tires for this thing, which I'll show you here in just a second. And by the way, it's cold and snowing again. Don't know if you noticed in the last video, it was 60 degrees, and it's now snowing again. Anyway, let me show you the tires I got. Hold on. How about that? These here are Riken Raptors. I got a set of 225 45 17s, which should be a pretty decent meaty tire for this thing on those 17-inch OZ wheels. We put a set of these on the front of the Ford Capri, the green one, and they balanced out really nicely. We were pretty impressed with them. I like the tread pattern. It looks really good. They are technically an all-season tire, but they're kind of a summer tire, aggressive tire kind of thing. They're a 300 tread wear tire, so they're not real good on the mileage, but they should be good for the fun. And at like $102 a piece and some change, I couldn't pass that up. So I've got $400 in the tires. We already had the wheels anyway, so yeah, see, budget friendly still. And I think they're gonna be fun. I think they'll be great for this car. I want to get this done before the road trip. Those Kellys are pretty good that are already on there, but I do have a lot of turny things that I want to do, and a good set of tires is probably going to be a better idea. So I'm going to go outside and get this wheel and tire off and try not to lose my digits because it's getting cold. So let me go grab a mitten and a jack, and we'll get those wheels and tires off. Yeah, that'll clear. It's not gonna slide real well in the gravel and the weeds. Come on, Betsy. There we go. All right. I get a piece of cardboard. This'll work. Nice big fender box. That'll work. Yeah, that'll work. And zip this tire off, put the thingy and the thingy under the control arm. Yeah. Tell you what, you backyard guys, and you're laying on your backs in the dirt stuff in the cold, this isn't fun. This is why you have a shop. Be right back. Come loose, baby. All right, good. Pizza cake. I'll come loose. Yeah. Perfect. Oh, nice. It's upgrading to hailing. That's nice. That's nice. I'm sure that's not going to just come off. We'll give her just that ever so gentle donkey kick. There you go. Professional deinstallation. Tires a little bit square. Go Gadget Hunter wheel and tire mounting machine. This could be a little tricky. These tires are hard as a rock and dry rotted. I've left them inside for a little while and they have not popped back out, and they are not pliable, like at all. So here we go. Let's see if this actually works. I think these are going to look pretty cool on the Pontiac. I think they're going to look pretty freaking cool. Locked in. Come on. We're going to do something a little bit medieval. We're not going to show that on camera, so I'll be back in a minute when this tire's loose. Now, it's not the right way, it's not the wrong way, so we're going to get it done. Didn't damage the wheel at all. And she's off. So as I said earlier, these are Riken Raptor 225/45/17, so they're not a low profile tire, so they should go on pretty well. I'd also like to note, Rich, I got that sticker pulled off in one pull, no problems. Maybe it's you that's not good at pulling stickers off. Obviously they are a directional tire, if you look at that tread pattern. So I'm going to figure left front, right left or right rear. So let's do this guy on the left front, shall we? We got to make sure we lube up our tire. Already lubed up the wheel. Hopefully this thing sits on there pretty nice. These are a pretty pliable tire. Like I said, they're a 300 tread wear, so there's quite a little give to them. And it does have a decent amount of sidewall. When you have a skinnier sidewall tire, like instead of a 45, if this was a 35 or a 25, really thin sidewalls, it gets a lot more annoying to do, and as they get to a harder and harder compound, it is a lot worse, which is why they're more expensive. These Riken Raptors are actually a Michelin tire that is built for TireRack.com, and we are a TireRack installer, certified installer, so $102 for a set of pretty good street tires. We'll give it a shot. Let's get some lube on these guys. Alright. Ready for the fat guy push. Huzzah! See? Fat guy push. Alright folks, well we're back. If you want to watch how to do tire mounting and balancing, you're not going to watch me do it. Watch Rich do it. I'll link the video up here. You can see a professional do it. I did get mine mounted and balanced, and they do look super fly. I am excited about this. How about that? How about that? Now, I did unfortunately mess up my matching as far as the tire goes with my red circle and my valve stem. Again, if you want to see how to properly do that kind of thing, go watch Rich's video. But my front two tires balanced out beautifully. These Riken Raptors, I'm very, very happy with that. Right rear tire balanced out pretty well. We only needed, like, I think 2 ounces to balance out that wheel. I think we have like a 10 in road force, which is really, really nice. My left rear tire balanced out fine, but the wheel is definitely not fully circular. So we do have a bit of a vibration that we're going to find, and our road force was like an 11, which is still really good, but it's not nearly where we wanted it to be. We ended up using about 4.5 ounces of weight on it, which is not horrible, but certainly more than what we wanted. Otherwise, the Riken Raptors balanced out beautifully. So wheels and tires are done. We got these beautiful OZ Racings. They are, I think they're going to be fantastic. We're going to get these things mounted here. We've got the Vibe inside. I'm going to take it up in the air, put the auxiliary jacks under it, pull these wheels off, put those wheels on, see how the fitment looks. We are going from a 205 on a 16 to a 225 on a 17. So it is going to change a little bit of the diameter on that, on the actual wheel and tire combination. But shouldn't affect our speedometer too bad. But for the look, let's be honest, sometimes it's worth losing a little bit of accuracy for a little bit of attitude. And I think this is going to be a great swap. So give me just a couple minutes. I'm going to get this thing up in the air, and we're going to swap these wheels and tires on this thing, see where we are and see what we've got. Also, there's a good chance that we might need to adjust the attitude by changing the altitude on this car. Once we get the wheels and tires fitted on this thing, we might want to bring this thing down a little bit, but we won't know that till we get it fitted. So let's get these wheels and tires on there, and we'll see where we are with this thing. Well, we've got a problem with nuts, folks. 2 different types of seats. These are the factory flat with a washer that fit my Pontiac wheels. These are the guys that came off the Subaru, which is a conical seat. So these do fit those wheels. Unfortunately, they have a different thread pitch. These are a 1.25 on the Subaru, and these are a GM thread pitch 1.5, so does not thread on. So what I need to do is I need to find myself a 1.5 M12 lug set of 20 to be able to get these wheels mounted on here. Otherwise, none of this works out. So I'm stuck for a second. I need to make a run to the auto parts store. Unfortunately, I am up against a hard limit on my working time for the day because I've got some normal life stuff I've got to do. So I'm going to pick up some nuts tomorrow, and we'll bring it back in here, put it back up on the rack, and get these wheels swapped over, which won't matter to you. You'll see it in just a moment. But for me, you know, always make sure your nuts are correct. Always be prepared. And I was not prepared. So, poo. Anyway, like I said, it's not going to matter to you. You're going to see it right now. Hey, welcome back. Remember how I said that we weren't going to get this done today? Well, Richard and his pack ratness happened to have a set of spline drive 60-degree conical seat M12 by 1.5s, and we're back in business, folks. Look at that. That's a whole box. And by a whole box, I mean 20 of them. So we're going to get these suckers mounted up, man. We're going to see how they look.
More than 20. I think you have enough to mount 5.
Yeah. Now, there's a good chance we might end up wanting to do a little bit of a spacer here. If you look here, we can maybe do a little bit of kick it out a little bit, but let's get them on there first off, and we'll see how it looks when it's sitting with all the weight on the ground. So let's get these pulled off. Oddly, Jim, actually, hi Jim. Here's the whole Vibe crew. There's the original Viber, Phil, Jim. Jim's Vibe is here as well. Phil's Vibe is outside. We're doing all Vibes all weekend. Jim's Vibe happens to have the wrong lug nuts on it, or at least 15 of the wrong lug nuts on it. He has a conical seat instead of a flat seat like I have on, and he's running the factory wheels. So somebody put 15 of the wrong lug nuts on this car. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the correct lug nuts off my car, right?
Yep.
Yes. We're going to pull the correct lug nuts off my car with factory wheels. We're going to put the factory wheel lug nuts on his factory wheels, and then put the ones that Rich has on my car, and then we can use the other wheels, and then, yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
I mean, I might wait on these because we're going to do some wheel paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got a set of lug nuts. Correct set of lug nuts.
But I got nuts.
You got a correct set of lug nuts. Factory GMs.
It's
Interesting that it's a 1.5 GM bolt pattern.
Well, so
lug.
I mean, what's interesting about these cars is they really are a homologation between Toyota and GM.
They're mostly Toyota with a little bit of GM.
But it's more like Toyota powertrain, and then everything else is GM. Delco Electronics, and even in the Matrix. So, we get the best part of Toyota with the worst part of GM.
What do you think, Vibe people? Do you agree with Jim? It's possible.
Plausible.
All right, let's get my wheels on this thing so I can get this thing off the rack. By the way, if you haven't seen this yet, this is technically the second Pontiac Vibe GT. Phil has the first one, then Jim bought his, and then like a week after you bought yours,
we found yours. Yeah.
Everybody found mine. Everybody found mine.
Yeah.
Everybody sent me that car, including these people.
The amount of people that sent you that car, shocked me.
Which is why I now own the damn thing. I don't need that car, but it's gonna be so cool.
It's pretty.
It's gonna be so good. Just because it's missing slightly, bits of the floor and everything else, it's fine. It's fine.
Details. It's all in the details.
And yours has
253 and some change.
So he's got 2,000 miles more than I do on his.
Yep.
The interior is considerably less skanky than mine is. Now it is. It was horrible when he originally picked it up. And you're working on stereo stuff.
Yeah, I would not call that a justification of the works, but I just want to test it and make sure it works.
Yeah.
We have sound. This was a factory amplified car with Pontiac called the Moon and Tune package, which also is in yours.
Okay.
So it's factory amp system, because of which I wasn't 100% sure whether or not it would work, or I'd have to bypass the amp. But hey, we got tuned, so now I'll put the dash kit together.
Cool. And you have none of the hardware.
None of the hardware.
None of the mounting hardware.
Yeah. I'm gonna zip tie, Gorilla Glue, and I don't know. We might be a little creative engineering.
There you go. I mean, I kind of dig it with the kind of, evil robot thing coming out of the dash.
The evil robot just hanging out of the dash? Yeah.
It works.
It's a good look.
It works. So that's technically the second Vibe GT that's in the fleet. Technically the second one. It's the third one you guys are going to see. This is the one that I think I've mentioned briefly we had done a clutch on, because his clutch was roasted. But he's back in business. He's going to be running, this is kind of the idea here is the low buck version, the high buck version.
Mainly because I'm cheap, yes.
You heard it from the horse's mouth here. But he's going to be able to do kind of the low dollar performance upgrades and the stuff that, is within the normal safe budget kind of thing, whereas I can do the stupid stuff on my car.
Right. If you can't find it on Amazon, Rock Auto, or at Best Buy, I'm probably not putting it in. So.
Fair enough. Let's get these wheels and tires on here. How much prettier are those? Oh, they're so much prettier. How about that? Just happen to have a set of M12 by 1.5 spline drive lug nuts sitting around. How many of you have had that moment where you're like, you know, I happen to have an excuse for all of my hoarding and keeping things. And then occasionally you get that win that makes it feel like it was all worth it. We've all been there. All right, let's get to the other side. Chop, chop. Running out of time. I got things to do. By the way, folks, this is Paul and his Subaru Legacy GT that's also going on the 2500 road trip. It is going to be a grand tour without saying that it's going to be the grand tour.
Nope, just one of them.
But this is a GT and that's a GT and that's a GT, which stands for Grand Touring. So we're going to go Grand Touring. Certainly not on the Grand Tour though.
Alright, great.
Drop my nuts! Dang, gravity. That's where we are, folks. She's looking fly. The gold's gonna look great, but there is a lot of room for more brake.
Make no mistake, folks. Those are the front brakes. Too.
Yes.
Let's just clarify. Those
That's true.
Those are the fronts.
These are the big ones.
Yeah.
The rears are gonna probably look a little less. But that's gonna look fly. I'm excited about this.
I think I've seen bicycles with bigger brakes than the rears. These days.
And they're non-vented rears. They're solid rear disc.
I was surprised by that. But I think it's because of the parking brakes, probably. The parking brakes that never work, that you can't get hardware for. That.
Yeah, I gotta do brakes on this thing anyway. So. Oh yeah.
You so pretty.
It's gonna be so much nicer.
It's gonna be real nice.
Oh my goodness.
Gonna
It
be.
needs so much more brake in the rear. So much more. All these. It needs more brake. But it's gonna look so much better. All wheels are on. Let's drop it off the auxiliary jacks, get it on the tires, and tighten everything down lug nuts wise, and let's get this thing out of here. And then we can see what it looks like. What do you think, folks? Upgraded the look a bit. I think it looks a lot better. I think she looks a lot better. We've definitely got to do some altitude adjustment.
Some altitude adjustment is definitely needed.
We've got to do some altitude adjustment. So I think we need to bring this thing down 2 inches. Probably.
I'd say at least 1.5 inches.
I mean, we've got more than a hand's width here. I mean, we got to come down. I think we got to come down 2 inches. So we've also got some gnarly looking brakes. You know, we don't necessarily need to go big brake kit, but we need a cleaner looking brake setup than this. Obviously, we also haven't cleaned up these wheels at all. They're scuzzy. They've been sitting outside for 4 years, so the wheels will get cleaner. I think the OZ Racing setup is going to look gorgeous on this thing. I think the idea here is silver and gold. Silver and gold is going to be a good idea. I think I like it. I think it's going to look fantastic. We need to drop this thing down a couple inches and maybe do some wheel spacers. kick these suckers out just a little bit. What do you guys think? Another step in the Vibe process here, guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. It's amazing how much of an attitude adjustment you can get just from a low set of wheels and tires. But it's definitely got a lot more attitude for sure. Fortunately, Rich happened to have a set of lug nuts to save our lives for the day. But I think the next thing we got to do is brakes and lower this thing. Whether or not that's coilovers, or if that's lowering springs on factory struts. No idea how old these struts are, given the maintenance that I've seen on this car. Who knows? Do you do lowering springs on a factory strut assembly and just chance the fact that you're not going to blow out the factory struts? You spend money on a cheap coilover conversion and do that, or do you go with a good quality coilover conversion? What would you guys do? Let me know what you think. We're going to end it here. That's the end of that. I got stuff to do. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I'd call this a win. One more win in the tail of the Vibe. So like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. We got more work to do. It's coming quickly. Our road trip is in less than 2 weeks, and we got 2,500 miles to go in our really cool little cheap cars. So hopefully you guys stay tuned. Hopefully you're enjoying this whole process. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.